Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ben Wolkoff Debriefs the Transition. Today I want to talk about something that I haven't thought about for a very long time, and that is transformational technology. Now, I mean transformational in that it has the power to transform classroom practice, the learning environment, and what teachers do, what the role of the teacher and the student are. It doesn't do it on its own, right? Like, we actually have to be the one to transform. But the reason why I thought about this was yesterday I got to talk with and hang out with the folks from Kramer who make this little box called the Via Go that allows streaming from literally any device, mirroring from any device. Chromebooks, iPads, iOS, so iPhones as well, right? PC, Mac, and Android devices. All of those different devices, and you can have up to 2 displaying at once on the Via Go or up to 4 displaying at once on the Via Pro. And that's just a little bit more expensive. And this is the first time that we have had the ability to do that with any device, not just locked into Apple TV with iOS and Macs, and not just locked into a software-based solution that sometimes works, doesn't always work, with like Reflector or AirServer or even Google Cast, which is a really great option for Chromebooks, but you still have to have a computer connected up to the machine that can run it, or a Chromebook that is connected there. It changed something for me. When I saw it, when I experienced it, when I was able to do it across all of those different device types, and it made me think of the only 2 other technologies that I found were transformational or had the power to transform. The first was having an LCD projector in my classroom. Once I had the ability to display the internet, once I had the ability to see essentially live information and bring that into my classroom, it transformed the way I thought about lesson planning. I started putting my lesson plans on the blog. It transformed the fact that I no longer had to make copies of everything that I wanted to pull into the classroom or get from the library, like the hard copies of all of the materials. It made it so that I didn't have to be so rigid in my lesson planning or in my copying and resourcing, because I wasn't stuck to the thing that I had in mind if it wasn't working. If it wasn't working, I could use that tool as a window to the world, essentially. It brought it into the classroom. And although it sounds super lame now, that was a fundamental change in my practice and the practice of so many other teachers that I work with. It had nothing to do with the interactive whiteboard. It was literally the ability to project a window to any resource. The second technology that I found to be transformational was collaborative document editing. Now we have sort of solidified it's the G Suite, it is Google Docs, but the ability for 2 people, students together or adults together, doing lesson planning or collaboration in other ways, the ability to do that together fundamentally changed the way that we created documents, the way that we lesson planned, the way that we thought about what was possible in projects. It changed it, or had the power to change it, because we came alongside and we said, this is something that is fundamentally different from what happened before, and it can change my practice in an undisputably positive way, right? Kids collaborating and having a collaborative instinct is different and also better when they are able to do so in an authentic way, and they are able to do so with a learning task that is meaningful. And so those are the 2 technologies in my tenure as an educator that have fundamentally shifted practice. And I think we may be on the cusp of another transformational technology, and that is the ability to change who controls the screen. If our LCDs or our Promethean boards or our TVs continue to be a teacher-only screen where they are the only one who gets to decide what goes on there, then we haven't shifted, we haven't transformed where the front of the classroom is, we haven't transformed how we share student work, we haven't transformed what it means to present or to share or to collaborate in any of those sort of fundamental ways. But the second that students feel empowered to share their screen, and even multiple students, or the teacher and the student has their work, so the teacher context for the work and then the student work right next to it, the second that that happens, it fundamentally changes what is possible because the teachers both are empowered to change it, right? And so I am very excited about the idea that we would solidify around something that is receiving regular updates, right? The old Apple TV, the $69 hockey puck, is not going to be updated. It is a dead product, essentially. You have to buy the more expensive one, and at that point, it's almost the same price for the Viago. And so I get so excited, I guess is the best word that I have for it, in thinking about what it means for our work to talk with teachers about changing practice in a fundamental way. And I wondered, what are the technologies that you have experienced that were transformational for you, that were transformational for your own teaching and learning? Those are the two that I could point to that fundamentally changed, and possibly the third. But what for you has been a transformational technology that had the power to transform learning experience, learning environment, and really the role of the teacher and the student in the classroom? So that's my question to you. I hope you have a great day of teaching, learning, learning, and creating. Talk to you soon.